cycle do. Establishments scared the public, then it was the public who for a long time kept pushing the government to continue with lockdowns. Because initially we scared them off, but it was actually Boris Johnson didn't really want to continue, but he was looking at the people, like, well, they still want lockdown, what do I do? But my point is, what I do, what a lot of our independent analysts do is, we have enough of us that attack their stuff. We have enough of us that promote more centre-right parties. None of you guys, you can keep watching, you can do a report, one of us will do about attacking stuff, you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to gain anything, you're not going to change your mind, you're already in it. Or if I find something other that kind of priority that you like, you already know. That's why it's important for people like me, especially CCTV, what to do is to make even you guys, or those who are centre-right, to do more critical thinking. Because I've actually ended up changing the other side of the minds more on two issues. I've had some left-wingers come in and say, because I've called out the Tories as a form, but because the way I call it out, I still basically say, overall, Nigel is right about this, but that's, well, CIU is a bit stupid. Actually, I've had some people saying, you know what, we're not left-wing. I've had the same Palestinian supporters. I basically slag Palestinians all the time, but I've also I've also called out a couple of times when the Israeli media are stupid, the way they do certain things, or the left-wing weirdos in Tel Aviv and the protests. So there is some of the Western middle-class and naive people who are pro-Palestine. Some of them have watched it, and they've actually that's kind of opened their mind, saying, oh, because what they've heard so far is pro-Israelis telling them, no, you're wrong, Hamas is bad, we are right. That's not obvious. If you just say that to someone who is supporting Palestine, that's not going to change their mind. They have to go through a different angle to answer the wider question of the topic. That's what I think channels like mine should do for the next election. Even if that means we have to call out outside, to open conversation, wake up outside to be better competition, but also to kind of, it sounds bad, but it's a little bit more like manipulation, right? The word is not right. But it's a different way, we're eating the other voters differently. So they can watch a video and say, oh wow, he's calling out the head. But subconsciously, because I'm also saying some good things, they're like, oh, actually, Kenny or Nigel, they're not too bad. So it's about that, it's about eating the different.
I think the best way to highlight that would be what we managed to achieve as a movement from 2017 onwards. If you consider 2017, when during that parliament, Penny Moore was then cabinet secretary, stood up at the dispatch box and said that trans women are women, and that actually, biological sex wasn't an immutable fact in one sweeping statement. That was a complete divergence from what the Conservative parties purportedly then do, to conserve, to protect, to defend. Well, where are you in protecting, conserving and defending if you're not defending a single-sex basis and biological immutable fact and truth? So we managed to actually put pressure on these politicians to say that actually this urgency to allow men in these spaces is completely at odds with any conservative common sense agenda. So it was down to that's the way we changed the ballot box to apply that pressure and be able to drag people in until they decide to say, I'm really stupid. But we